Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Practice Podcast. I'm your host, Sophie.
And I'm Ryan. Hello, guys. It is so good to be back here with you today.
Ryan, you seem in a really good mood today. You're smiling a lot.
Am I? Well, yeah, I guess I am. I had a really great weekend, actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome. What did you do?
Well, honestly, I finally had some free time. You know how busy I've been lately with work.
Oh, absolutely. You've been working so hard.
Yeah, exactly. But this weekend, I did absolutely nothing related to work. I just focused on my hobbies. I played some basketball, I read a book, and I just relaxed. It was perfect.
That sounds amazing, Ryan. And actually, that is a perfect introduction to today's topic.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to help our listeners learn exactly how to talk about their free time and their hobbies in English.
Ah, that's a huge topic.
It is, and it's so important. Think about it, Ryan. When you meet someone new, what is one of the first things you ask them?
Usually I ask, what do you do, like for a job? But right after that, I always ask, what do you like doing for fun?
Exactly. Talking about free time is the best way to start a conversation. It helps you find things in common with people.
True. If I find out someone likes basketball, boom, we are instantly friends.
Exactly. So, by the end of this episode, our goal is simple. We want you, the listener, to be able to speak clearly, naturally, and confidently about what you do in your free time.
No more saying just, I like sleeping.
Hey, sleeping is a hobby, but yes, we want to give you more details. We're going to look at vocabulary, grammar, and how to tell a story about your hobby.
Sounds good to me. Shall we get started?
Let's do it. Okay, Ryan, let's start with the basics vocabulary.
Right. Words. We need words to build sentences.
Exactly. Now, there are so many different ways to spend free time. Some people are homebodies.
Homebodies. That's a good word. What does that mean?
A homebody is someone who prefers staying at home. They like indoor activities.
Ah, okay. Like me when it's raining.
Yes. So for people who like staying home, we have activities like watching TV,
Or reading books.
cooking.
Ooh, I love cooking. Or just surfing the internet.
Yes, surfing the internet is a big one. But then we have the active people, the sports lovers.
Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky for beginners, right, Sophie?
It does. Why?
Because of the verbs. We have play, go, and do. And I feel like learners always get these mixed up.
That is such a good point, Ryan. Let's clear that up right now.
Okay, quiz me.
Okay, Ryan. Football. Do we do football, go football, or play football?
Easy, we play football.
Correct. What about swimming?
We go swimming.
Perfect. And what about yoga?
We play yoga? No, that sounds wrong. We do yoga.
Exactly. Listeners, did you hear the pattern?
Break it down for us, Sophie.
Okay, generally we use play for team sports or games with a ball. Play football, play basketball, play tennis.
Got it. Ball equals play.
We use go for activities that end in ing, like swimming,
Go jogging.
go climbing.
Go shopping.
Yes, even though shopping isn't a sport, we say go shopping. And finally, we use do for individual activities, usually things you do for exercise or martial arts.
So do yoga. Do judo. Do boxing.
You got it.
Okay, so that covers home stuff and sports. But what about social stuff?
Right. Many people just want to be with people.
Like hanging out with friends?
Yes, hanging out is such a natural phrasal verb. It just means spending time together doing nothing specific.
I like hanging out with my friends or relaxing with my family.
Or maybe something creative?
Like taking photos?
Yes, or painting or writing stories.
Writing a blog. That's popular now.
Okay, listeners, I want you to stop and think for a second. What kind of person are you? Do you like sports? Do you like creative things?
Or are you a homebody?
Keep that answer in your head. Now, let's move to part two.
Part 2, how to say sentences.
Right, because we can't just shout football at people.
I mean, you can, but it's a weird conversation.
Very weird. We need a sentence structure. The most common way to talk about hobbies is using the verb like.
In my free time, I like...
Ryan, give me an example.
In my free time, I like playing basketball.
Good. Give me another one.
In my free time, I like relaxing with my family.
One more.
In my free time, I like reading books.
Okay, stop there. Ryan, what is the pattern?
I see it. After the word like, I am adding ing to the verb. Play becomes playing. Relax becomes relaxing.
Exactly. This is the golden rule for beginners. Like plus verb ing.
Can I say, I like read books?
No, that sounds a little broken. You can say, I like to read, but to sound natural and easy, just use the ing. I like reading.
I like reading. It flows better.
It does. But Ryan,
Yeah?
if you just say, I like, it gets boring quickly.
Very boring, like a robot. I like food. I like water.
Stop it. So we need different words for emotion. We need to show how much we like it.
Okay, so if I really, really like it,
You can say love. I love playing tennis.
or enjoy. I enjoy watching TV.
And what if you don't like it?
Hate. A strong word. I hate going shopping.
You hate shopping?
Oh, Sophie, I hate it. It's too crowded. It's loud. I absolutely hate it.
Okay. Listeners, did you hear what Ryan added there? He added a word to make it stronger.
I said absolutely.
Yes, you can use adverbs to show your feelings.
So I really like taking photos.
Or, I sometimes enjoy going jogging.
I absolutely hate playing football.
Wait, really? You hate football?
No, just an example. I love football.
Phew, okay. So, listeners, now it is your turn. I want you to try. Ryan, ask them a question.
Okay, listeners, what do you like doing in your free time?
Whisper. Answer us out loud. Use I like or I love.
Good. Okay, Sophie, so now we can say what we like. I like playing basketball, but that's a short sentence.
It is very short. If you stop there, the conversation dies.
RIP conversation.
So, we need to add details. This is how you sound fluent. The first detail to add is frequency.
Frequency. That means how often.
Exactly. Do you do it every day, once a year?
Let's give them some phrases.
Okay, we have phrases with every.
Every weekend, every Saturday, every day,
And we have phrases with once or twice.
once a week, twice a month, 3 times a year.
So, Ryan, let's combine it. Tell me about basketball again.
Okay, I like playing basketball. I play every Tuesday evening.
See, that is so much better. It tells me about your routine.
Let me try a negative one. I absolutely hate going shopping. I only go shopping once or twice a year.
Perfect. What about photography?
I really like taking photos, but I don't get the chance to do it often.
Oh, that's a great phrase. I don't get the chance. That means you are too busy, right?
Yeah, it means I want to do it, but I have no time.
That is very natural. Listeners, write that down.
So, Sophie, how often do you do your hobbies?
Me? Well, I love reading. I read every single night before bed.
Every night? Wow.
It relaxes me. What about you, listeners? How often do you do your hobby?
Try to say a sentence using every or once a week.
Okay, moving on. We have the what and the how often. Now we need the where.
Location, location, location.
Yes, adding the location adds a picture to the listener's mind.
So, back to my basketball example.
Go ahead.
I like playing basketball. I play every Tuesday evening at the park near my house.
Boom, now I can see you there.
It's a nice park, actually.
Let's try another one. What about meeting friends?
I enjoy having coffee with my friends. We go to a cafe in the city center once or twice a week.
Excellent. You see how the sentence is getting longer?
It's growing. It started as I like coffee. Now it's a whole story.
That is the secret to speaking English well. You just add small building blocks.
One block at a time.
Listeners, pause for a second if you need to. Can you add a location to your sentence? Where do you do it? At home? At the gym? In the park?
Say it out loud.
Okay, Ryan, now we are going to get a little more advanced.
Ooh, advanced. I'm ready.
We are going to talk about background information.
Background info. You mean the history?
Yes, if you have an interesting hobby, people usually want to know two things. When did you start and why?
Ah, the origin story, like a superhero.
Yes, your hobby origin story.
So, what grammar do we use here?
Simple past is usually best. I started,
I started playing tennis when I was 10.
or you can use the present perfect continuous if you want to sound fancy.
I have been learning to paint for 6 months now.
Very good. I've been learning.
What about the why?
Often, we start a hobby for a specific reason, maybe for health.
I decided to do yoga because I wanted to be healthy.
Exactly. But Ryan, there's a special phrase I want to teach everyone today. It's very common in native English conversation.
Is it got me into?
Yes, got me into.
I love this phrase. My friend got me into climbing.
Can you explain what that means?
Sure. If someone gets you into something, it means they introduced you to it and they made you like it.
Right, so you didn't know about it before, but your friend showed you.
For example, I never liked cooking, but my girlfriend got me into it. Now I cook every day.
That is a perfect example.
Did anyone get you into a hobby, Sophie?
Actually, yes. My dad.
Oh,
Yeah. When I was younger, my dad got me into photography. He gave me his old camera.
that's sweet.
It is. What about you?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was a teenager. My older brother got me into it because he was in a band.
See, that makes the conversation so much more interesting. It's personal now.
It connects you to other people.
So, listeners, think about your hobby. Did you start it alone? Or did a friend, a brother, or a teacher get you into it?
Try to make a sentence. My friend got me into.
We are almost at the end of our lesson, but we need one final piece.
The cherry on top of the cake.
Adjectives. We need descriptive words.
Because we need to explain why we like it or why we hate it.
Exactly. You can't just say, I like it because it is good.
Good is a boring word. We ban the word good.
Okay, give me some better words. Why do you like climbing?
I like climbing because it's really exciting.
Exciting. Good word. Why do you like yoga?
I love doing yoga because it's so relaxing.
Relaxing. Nice. What about creative hobbies?
I really like writing stories because it's creative and I like using my imagination.
Beautiful. But let's be negative for a second.
My favorite part.
Why do you hate jogging?
I hate going jogging because it's tiring.
It is tiring.
And I hate watching TV because I find it boring.
Or maybe something is too difficult?
I've been trying to learn to paint, but it's too hard.
So, listeners, don't just say it is fun. Say it is exciting, relaxing, creative, or challenging.
Use those big words. They make you sound smart.
Okay, Ryan, we have all the pieces.
We have the verb ing, the frequency, the location, the backstory, and the adjectives.
It is time to put it all together into a long answer.
The master answer.
I'm going to ask you about your hobby, and I want you to use everything we just learned. Don't stop talking.
Okay, pressure's on. I'm ready.
Ryan, tell me, what do you like doing in your free time?
Okay, well, I really like playing tennis.
Mm-hmm.
I play every weekend at the park near my house. Sometimes I play with my brother, or sometimes with a friend.
Nice details.
My brother got me into it because he loves sports and he needed someone to play with.
Classic.
I didn't like it at first because it was hard and I lost all the time. But now I enjoy it, especially when I beat my brother.
Ryan, that was perfect.
Thank you, thank you. I tried to include everything.
You did. You told us what, where, when, who, and why.
It felt like a real story.
Let's do one more. I'll go.
Okay, Sophie, what do you do for fun?
I love taking photos. Once or twice a month, I go to different areas of the city and look for interesting pictures to take.
Oh, nice.
I've been interested in photography since I was young, when my dad got me a camera for my birthday.
And why do you like it?
I like it because it's creative and I can express myself through my pictures. Anyone can use a camera, but you need to use your imagination to find good pictures.
Wow, that was beautiful, Sophie.
Thanks. Do you see how easy it is when you follow the steps?
It really is. It's just a formula.
So, listeners, now is the ultimate challenge.
It's your turn.
We want you to talk about your free time.
Imagine you're talking to us.
Imagine we are sitting in a cafe, drinking coffee.
I look at you and ask, hey, what do you do for fun?
Try to talk for at least 30 seconds.
Give us the details. Where do you go? How often?
When did you start, and why do you love it?
Don't be shy. Practice makes perfect.
Well, Ryan, I think that brings us to the end of the lesson.
I think so too. This was a fun one.
It was. I hope you all learned something new about how to describe your hobbies.
And hey, if you want more lessons like this, where can they go, Sophie?
You can find more free lessons on our website, or just keep listening to the English Practice Podcast.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next conversation.
Thanks so much for joining us today, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye-bye.